Most Lagos guys, I won't say all, but most Lagos guys, when they want knacks, always move like they want relationship. And that's why girls always complain, right? Because they move with energy of send your driver to pick you up from the office. They move with those kind of energies that you only be moving to someone you want to really date.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen? You are back to the best podcast out there called Menisms with your best host. I'm Michael Scenario.
Yep, and I'm Kingsley-okonkwo.
And we welcome you back to another wonderful episode. Thank you, man. How you doing, my G?
Always good. Always good.
And yo, before we start, we just want to give a quick shout out to some men, some people. In fact, I won't say men, some people.
Yeah.
Should we say that gave us these lovely shirts you're wearing today, as we're looking good as always. I want to give a shout out to Vincentino, all the way out in Chevron Drive. You know, they make some beautiful shirts. Make sure you check them out on Instagram. How are you feeling about the shirt?
Yeah. So I love it, and I think if I love it, they should love it. You guys should love it. So
yeah, so go check them out. Tell them Menism sent you. And yeah, make sure you cop something and then tag us if you get something. But apart from that, we back to another wonderful episode. You need to tell the people what they need to do while they're listening.
If you're listening to our episode, you need to invite your friends. You need to
subscribe.
You need to just everything. You need to follow, comment. We really look at your comments. Always comment. Yeah,
there's nothing wrong being a fan because we're fans of you guys too. But anyways, we're gonna get into the topic today. Today's topic is a very interesting one. It's gonna get a lot of controversy in a good way, but open talks at the same time. So today's topic. Before
we get to the topic, actually, we have I think one or two DMs we need to address as usual. True. So let me jump right in.
So you take the first one.
Yeah, I think it's just the one actually. Yeah, it's just the one.
All right.
So I'll say it and then you can give your take on what you think it is. All right. So this says, "Hey Michael and Muriwa, my name is Tay. So I have this ex. We dated for 2 years before we broke up because of distance, but we still talk and we are good friends. I think there's still a little something there, at least on my side, anyways. When we talk, we put it out there that we still care about each other. We are both single right now, by the way. Mm-hmm. But whenever I call and he doesn't pick up for some reason, he never calls back or even texts me. Then, when we get to talk, he will just brush it off. And now, at first, I was not exactly okay with that. But I had to understand that maybe he was just busy and never said anything to him. And I never said anything to him because, I said we were not together, and I didn't want to stress anything because I'm happy with where we are as friends. However, I realized that I shouldn't have to keep up with that ex or not. And I recently deleted his number and blocked him. Now my question is, did I go about this the right way, or am I just thinking too deep about this?
No, you're doing the right thing because I went through a very similar thing this past year. So my ex and I broke up it'll be 2 years, a year. Wow, damn, it's been 2 years now because we're in 2022. But it was early 2021, late 2020, one of those times. And, at first, when we broke up, I kept trying to reach out to her every time because in the end, we are still friends in my head. We still are. But it's like, okay, I can be checking in on you. Then at one point, she wouldn't answer my calls. So there was a few months where we didn't talk. So it hurt me for a while because it's like, we're supposed to be friends and all that. I'm trying to reach out to you. You don't even reach out back. But then it's like I said, I had to teach myself. And this is why I said, especially as young people, nobody, especially as Nigerians, nobody teaches us these things about channeling your emotions, learning. But I had to really teach myself to separate myself from her because obviously she's an ex, so there's a part of you that you feel that's there. Then I had to find myself, and then I had to realize that she's no longer my girlfriend / he's no longer your boyfriend, so they don't owe you anything. So you owe yourself that period to, like you say, find yourself, and then if they want to come back in your life, they'll come back, but you can't force it, So it's like after a while, once I left her alone, she now came back in terms of we'll talk once in a while, call each other maybe once every other month. But now I'm at a point now where it's like I don't even need to talk to her every time. And it's not beef, nothing. Like I tell people, like, I'm not one of those people that say fuck my ass. Like, I still have love for her forever.
Yeah.
But I have separated myself and kept the distance so I don't get hurt all the time. So what you did is actually very smart, because you see that it's affecting you a lot. So if that is your boundary you need to set for yourself, then set it. Then when you feel like you're at a place that if it naturally happens again, so be it. If not, there are billions of people in this world. You are going to find somebody that's going to make you happy.
Yeah, I mean, I totally agree. And I mean, I'll just add a little bit to that. And I think what I will say is it still comes down to ignoring red flags, right? And clearly the whole thing of him not picking up her calls or even calling back and not even like talking about maybe he was busy, not even acknowledging that he missed her calls and, whatever, or giving a reason or whatever it is. According to her, he just brushes it off. I think that's a big red flag, especially if it's something that she knows she normally wouldn't stand for, right? So just because the person is your ex doesn't necessarily mean that they would always mean well for you, or they would always put you in the high position they may have put you in before, right? So if you guys moved on because of distance, it's also very possible that, he's also mentally in a place where he's trying to move on from you, and again, it might not be that he's communicating fully how he feels and what his plans are moving forward. Like she said, they would just talk about how they care about each other every now and then, but it doesn't quite say that his plans are to continue to be with her or to continue to like show more affection. So if he's not on that page, and she's beginning to see things that she wouldn't normally stand for, then I think, she's done the right thing by blocking, because in the end, it's about her. She needs to put herself first in whatever. So blocking, some people might see it as extreme, but if that's what works for her, and that's how she's able to manage situations, then I think it's okay. I think it works. Yeah.
All right. So thank you again for sending the question. We appreciate that. Any more questions?
All right, so we got a second question, actually. And this one is pretty interesting because I think a lot of us actually find ourselves in these situations sometimes, right? So this one says that he's dating someone who's Muslim and he's a Christian, and he's not really sure how to go about the whole situation because right now what he's looking for is a relationship that's going to last till marriage. And I'm guessing he feels a certain way about her and obviously doesn't want to break off what they have. So I guess he's looking for some advice on how to navigate that.
Okay, I get what you're saying.
So how to navigate. What do you think?
Personally, I feel that is a personal choice. In terms of, the only advice I can give you is follow your heart and also ask God for wisdom. It sounds cliche, but when it comes to religion, that's something that you can never really interfere with somebody because it's a personal thing. And with some relationships, there are relationships that work out now that there are two people from different sides. There's Muslims, there's Christians that marry. I have aunties and uncles that are both Muslim and Christian marriage, and they had to find a way based off family planning to work together. Yeah. So I think for him, as a man, you need to, when you get to that stage, if she's the one you want to really be with, then you obviously, as we've talked about it on our podcast about communication, you need to communicate to her and ask, is this something you can live with in terms of, if I'm Muslim and you're Christian, can we still be together? If we have children, can we raise our children in a way that, they have these
doesn't clash with our beliefs,
So that's what I said, it's more of, you just need to communicate. If she's special to you, then she'll understand. And even if she doesn't understand, it doesn't mean she doesn't care about you and all that, but she has her beliefs. But I feel like that's something you should just communicate with her early before you go and spend 5 years with the person and then all of a sudden it's now just coming up.
So, of course, I fully agree. So I find that a lot of us at some point may have, been in this situation. It might not even be religion, it might be tribe differences, right? Where, your parents have rang in your head that, if the person is a different tribe than your tribe, don't even bother bringing her home, stuff like that, right? Now, I don't know what the context is on this guy's situation, right? But I want to assume or take an angle where it might be that, because for them to be in some sort of emotional or romantic relationship, it means that to some extent, she thinks she can be with him. Yeah. And to some extent, he thinks he can be with her, right? It now might be a thing of their families, right? And how their families might welcome this difference in religion, right? Now, here's my advice. It might come off as a bit rebellious, but we're in 2022. And again, communication is key, but now not just with your significant other, communicate with your family, right? Let them understand where you are and why you are where you are. Because in the end, if you're not happy with whatever decision you're making because your parents are driving you to do it, you would end up still doing what you want, but in a harsher way at a longer time, as opposed to if you voice it out right there and then like, look, you know what, mom, dad, I get it that you guys want the same, but I don't care for that. Like, I don't see differences in religion. I just see people who are good and who believe in doing good, right? If that's where you guys draw the line in your Christianity and you both believe that, okay, she can still practice her Islam while you still do your Christianity and you guys don't have any clashes and whatever it is, and you can raise your kids understanding that both can be right, then I think it's just about communicating not just with your significant other, but also with your family, so they get to understand where you guys both are. Now, if you're not the kind of person who think you can, then I would say the strongest advice is to just call it off early, so you don't end up being intertwined in emotions that you cannot pull yourself out of. If you know you're not the kind who can communicate to your family because they just won't have it, fine, I get that there are people like that, but if that's the case, just pull yourself out of it so you don't end up digging a hole so deep you can't crawl out of. So
that's the advice for the questions. So thank you guys, keep sending them in, and hopefully you take our advice. But we're going to go straight into the topic today. Today's topic is post-nut clarity. And it's very simple and straightforward in terms of, one, what is post-nut clarity? And two, how does it affect a lot of things in terms of relationships and people? Now, post-nut can be for both women and for men, but obviously when you hear that term, you think of it more of a guy's side and all that, because if you want to go technical with women, some of them will say, like, some of us
they don't even come.
Exactly. So with guys now, with post-nut now, it's very simple. It's after you have sex or after you release that energy, however you do it, what are the feelings you still have after? Because a lot of people say you don't know if you like a woman until you bust a nut. And that sounds very harsh and direct, but it's very honest. It's true, yeah. Because a lot of us have had those feelings for women beforehand, whereas like before the sex comes into play now, oh, she's gorgeous, she's this, I want to go out. So, you chase her, you use all that effort, maximum effort to do what you need to do. And once the sex comes into play, for some of us, we've all been guilty of it. Once the sex comes, that energy is gone. And it's not like she's done anything, it's just you really didn't know if you like her. So what are your thoughts?
So I think the best way for us to really approach this topic is to give some scenarios and context, so people really get to understand where we're coming from, right? So, of course, we've given the base definition, like you just, explained, which is, you have sex, you come, then there's something. Like there's a revelation, for lack of a better expression, right? There's a few minutes, sometimes longer, where you're thinking two things or two or more things. The most popular one being, I don't think I want to continue this, or why am I even here? Regret stuff, right? Regret stuff, right? So, but I think let's start with giving a few scenarios. I mean, I definitely have had some cases where, post-nut, I was just like, okay, so I don't think I feel the way I felt about this person, right? There was one time that I was talking to someone. I mean, the energy was crazy, we definitely hit it off. No, it wasn't even. So when I say the energy was crazy, it wasn't even just sexual energy. Like, we were just cool on vibes. Everything was just really chill, right? But we hadn't had sex. But everything was good. So I think one day when, we kind of had planned that, okay, it was going to happen, it was still on the very good page and all that. Now, I think this was even someone I possibly saw myself being with, right? Like keep the options open. Like, okay, let's see. I won't fully write it off that I cannot be with this person. I see all possible indications that I can, right? Then we end up having sex. Now, the sex was good. It was okay. But, sex is done. I nut. And there's just this whole revelation. Like, there's this whole
revelation of,
there's just this whole.
I really, okay, I've realized, like, once you have sex in that point now, it's like, everything that happened beforehand
has wiped off everything. Clean slate.
It's like okay, from here now, where do we start? It's like, okay, now I'm just getting to know you. That sounds so. A lot of women are going to be like, oh, getting to know me. You didn't know me when you were chasing me for days. It's like, no,
and it's the truth, right? So you see, when that happened, I even had to. So okay, so I'm a gentleman naturally, regardless of whatever I feel after I know. So I will still do the things I would normally do after sex. Maybe clean the person up, stuff like. But like, I try to hide it sometimes, right? But I think my face sometimes shows that. Okay, so in fact, what happens then is you actually don't even want the person around your space anymore from that point. So from that point, you actually want to give indications that, okay, maybe you should come and be going to your house. I don't think
No, I'm not that. See, like,
no. So it's the feeling.
If we're already there,
yeah.
I give you.
No, I'm saying the feeling. I'm not saying I'm going to tell the person.
No,
I'm saying
the feeling. I don't.
Oh no, me when if really I get that regret feeling from the post note, every part of me wants the person out of my space. That's me. Every part of me wants the person. I just don't feel like.
And that's I say it's not that we've not been.
Yeah.
I get what you're saying.
Every part of me is just like. Okay, no. Like I don't even know what we're going to talk about anymore at this point. Like I feel like we all of a sudden don't have anything to talk about.
You just said something just now, so this is what I'm saying. The women are going to be like, so
you didn't know me.
When we're talking, having those conversations.
Are you telling me you didn't have anything to say? Yeah,
you get what I'm saying? And I feel like, but one thing I've realized with some women is that you sort of already give off the signs or your, what's the word I'm looking for? Your ideas in terms of what you want from this early on. It's like, for example, now, like for me now, at this point in life, I am very honest and direct.
Yeah.
Do I want a relationship right now? No. Am I being a player? No. I'm just focused on me. So if we happen to get to that point of having sex, I'm not trying to pursue anything after, but I'd rather be comfortable that I'm your friend, that I don't want to have those thoughts. You get what I'm saying? Compared to before now, I'm always roulette. In terms of, if we see, and I feel like that's when those feelings of after, why am I with this person?
Yeah, in fact, I think they happen a lot more when. So we already spoke earlier in one of our episodes how, based on our society, as a guy you're the chaser, right? I think the problem with that is sometimes some guys don't even know why they're chasing.
It's boredom, and also what's the word? The roast. Yes, we said it because again, I feel in Nigeria,
you don't even have babes, you don't even have anybody. So because that pressure comes in. So you want to. Now you're telling yourself that you want the person more than just sex, but like you said, we're never really honest with ourselves when it's just boredom, when it's just knacks, when it's just curiosity. Curiosity is really the key one. So it could even be that the person is your physical spec, right? Probably even a babe that guys are dying for, right? But the truth is, if your motive is not pure, to have more than just sex, and it's literally just a hunt for this babe that is, let me see if I can get her, or whatever the reason is, curiosity, like I said, you want to know how she is in bed, whatever it is, right? If that's your basis, right? Now, I'm not saying this happens every time with this scenario, but in most cases, when you finally have sex, it feels so meaningless that, the clarity that comes from the post-nut is like, why am I even here? Like, did I spend the last few weeks for this? Like, I don't feel the excitement anymore. Like, and what now happens is the person that you're talking to may even now be more invested.
But that's, I feel like when I say we ignore the signs, because it's like, with some girls now, you have an attraction, like you say, that's mainly physical.
Yes.
But we all know sex is more than just physical. I feel like all of us, especially guys, we ignore every emotional, even the friendship part.
Yes.
When you want to do at that point.
You ignore it.
I don't care if you're a friend or... Are you okay? Mentally, are you okay?
Let's get that out of the way first.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. With guys, especially in Nigeria, we're missing out on opportunities to know some of these girls well. Let's be real.
Yes, it's the truth.
I even had to slow down because there's some girls now, I'll be honest, like I've never moved to them. My guys will never believe me when I say this. It's like, there's certain girls, I have literally kept them the way they are because one, I love them as friends.
Yeah.
And two, they're the kind of girls is like, if we were to ever date or do something, I don't want to just do and go with this girl. Like, let's just see. Even if it doesn't work out, I want us to still be friends. So that's why I calm down a lot. Because I realized, I don't know if this happens to you. Maybe it's a post-nut thing.
Yeah.
Can you really be friends with girls you slept with?
So, I mean, I do have some friends that we had history before and then we ended up being friends. The only problem from my end anyways, because I guess, like I said, in our part of the world, communication is not so big where they just lay everything out the way it is. But from my end, I feel like when that happens, Now, it's two things. My own personal could be that I already know this is never happening again, but I'll still be friends with the person. But the person is on the page where it's like, yeah, we can be friends, but I still want that again. Right. So I guess it gets a bit tricky with the dynamics of the friendship, because maybe I'm now just friend zoning you after that. And then,
So then if that's the case, so let me ask you another question now. We're going to do scenarios on this now. So with that, would you not say that's sort of us using them? If you're saying one time, that's it.
I agree.
Because
I agree.
Why is it just that one time?
So, it could also be that the experience wasn't, like I said, curiosity plays a big part of it, right? When you quench your curiosity, there's almost no more you're trying to find out anymore, right?
You've gotten
the answer you needed, right? Now, it's a different thing entirely if you really liked the person and then sex happened, but what you really liked in the person wasn't how they could possibly be in bed. What you really like is the things that were already presented to you. So things like, this person is a very good friend. Every time I have problems, she has good advice. Every time I have this, she can come through with that. Those are things that will still remain a constant after the date is done. But if those were not things you liked in the beginning, now, not saying that, the person can't have those things and you won't like them. A lot of girls would still have those good qualities, but it's just not what you're looking for in the person.
Even the qualities you say they have, is like, it's still never, that dynamic, that's why I said when you say they're friends, it's never going to be the same.
And that's what I was saying that, so there's a friction. So it could even be that post not to tell me that I want more and she is not on the same page anymore, right? Post not could be that I don't want more and she wants more, but I'm just trying to be friends with her. So every time maybe we're trying to just be on a friendship thing, maybe she'll bring it up again. I'm trying to avoid it, but I also don't want to tell her that I don't want.
That's what you said about communicating as men. Even setting limits now, for example, even after that post not, because I don't know. That's why I say, even now when I think about it, like it's like all the rules now just play in my head as a guy after post nut. In terms of, now you want to start setting boundaries.
Yeah.
Now you want to start setting standards. Like I remember there's this one girl now, like we had a thing, right? Like a while ago.
Yeah.
And we were cool. Like we good friends and all that. I got to know her and all that. And as soon as it happened, I remember I just started setting boundaries and limits and all that.
Yeah, you're like, I don't like phone calls. Don't call me beyond this time.
Yeah, and then is that I was like, I didn't say this stuff earlier on. Like you were fine, and now all of a sudden, like, please don't call me after this time. Like, I'm working.
Or it's like, I'm always busy, so like, I'll only be free at like nighttime, or I could only be free like earlier in the day. Those are things that didn't apply before the sex.
I think. What does this apply to you also? Just a question for you. Do you feel like, I think my post not really hits me in terms of like, I ain't trying to do this, when sometimes, how you said we don't set those boundaries, but sometimes we do when we say that simple thing of, I don't want a relationship, right? And then after post not, you think she's going to act the same, then she starts acting differently. Does that play a big part on you? So
when you say acting differently, you mean acting differently like wanting a relationship? Or
like, it's not, and it sounds bad saying this, but we're being honest as guys. Obviously, you've had sex. One of you is going to get more attached. I don't like saying the woman will get more attached. Because I've been there where
you're the one, I guess.
Disturb the girl, like, yo, what's up? Like, and it's not been on the sexual piece, like, yo,
what's up? I'm trying to hang out. I know what you mean.
So it's like, does that play a what's the word I'm looking for? You see, even now I mess up. We're trying to speak proper grammar here for you guys. But it's like, after the sex now, sometimes I feel that when a girl, sometimes, not every girl, but sometimes if I've set the boundary earlier, especially that no relationship thing, then you try and indirectly start doing that thing. Okay. When I see those signs, that's already my post not saying like, nah, I can never work, because you already.
I see what you mean. So basically,
I already told you from the get-go.
So basically, like saying maybe. Let's even leave out the part where you said it's just going to be sex. Let's say, for example, you said that, if you're going to call me, don't call me more than twice. And then, like, she's blowing up your phone, like 10, 12 missed calls.
Like, if before sex, you probably called me once. So
your post note is like, that's the reason.
The way we communicated was Insta, like, okay, we comment on a few stuff. We'll have some conversation here, but we're not calling each other every time. After all,
then she switches up.
Like, whoa. It's not saying we can't talk.
I see what you mean,
but it's like, all of a sudden, I'm getting 3 phone calls 3 days in a row. Chill. Wait.
Yeah. So the thing is that bridge is always a very tricky one to cross, because one, they will come from the angle of, okay, so we had sex. What did you expect? Of course, I'm going to catch feelings. Now, I feel like sometimes it's really selfish, because if we've set the boundaries, where if we set the rules where it's like, okay, no relationship, we're just being casual, then I see no right you would have to now impose your wants for a relationship, because we've already set
the tone.
We've set the tone, right?
I don't want.
Yeah.
I've said it with my own mouth. I don't want it.
If there's now no communication where you maybe see a possibility, maybe the guy is even moving now. That's the thing. Most Lagos guys, I won't say all, but most Lagos guys, when they want knacks, always move like they want relationship. And that's why girls always complain, right? Because they move with energy of send your driver to pick you up from the office. They move with those kind of energies that you only be moving to someone you want to really date. We've all been there. Yes, we've been guilty of everything. So, and I can definitely understand when, the women say, oh, okay, what did you expect? I was going to fall. Because most times the actions steer in that direction. And like I said, we're in the part of the world where we don't really communicate right there and then how things are moving, maybe because we don't want to, how someone mentioned earlier, we don't want to spoil it. That, don't go and now say, please, it's only sex I want to, because you can scatter it out. She won't answer you again.
But the funny thing is, so many guys tell me this thing, and till today,
you can't get it. Yeah.
Some guys are very direct with women, like, this is all I'm looking for is sex. Me personally, in 30 years, wow, Jesus, that's scary.
Yeah, it's a lot of years. Yeah.
In the amount of years I've been on this earth, I have never said it like, yo, I am just trying to fuck. Like, unless we're in that
place already, yes.
Like some girls, once we're dating, I already talk my shit because we already are at that level. But if we are not, that I'm still moving to, even if we're good,
you still choose your words very carefully. Yeah, same here. Same for me.
But do you feel like if we were more direct now, it would remove more of the problems? Because she has to say yes or no.
So the thing is this, right? From my findings on the few people I've had as friends, or even like sexual relations in Lagos or in Nigeria generally, women say please don't capitalize on when I said Nigeria generally, because I know that's what you're picking on. Oh my days. Can we focus? Let's focus.
No, Lagos, Nigeria.
Let's focus, please. So the women say they want the truth, but we've seen what happens sometimes when you lay. You tell someone the truth and be like, I can't imagine. So you just see me as a piece of meat.
No, I don't.
You asked me to be direct with you. Yeah, you asked me to be direct with you. I'm being direct now. You're bashing me for being direct. So sometimes I can't really blame the guys. Sometimes I can't blame the guys when they are not direct or when they are not upfront with what their intentions are, because they can see how that can be misconstrued. Because even if the person is not up for it, doesn't mean you guys can't be friends, right? But once they come up with that reaction of, can you imagine that? So that's what you take me for. It's just then that already kind of breaks away all possibility of friendship you guys could have had. And I can see how some guys don't even want to lose on all grounds, right? So again, not making excuses for the guys are not being straight, but being direct. Yeah, but being direct, right? If I see potential both ways with someone where I'm like, okay, you know what? Yes, we can maybe be casual, but if it doesn't work, we can also be friends, right? I wouldn't want to then ruin both possibilities by just telling her, okay, look, I'm just trying to fuck you. It's the truth, because you tell that to a Lagos babe, see, she will look at you like, what's this rubbish? Is that what I don't know? Like,
but that's what you think. But some of them, like,
but the thing is, the people
don't even understand how some agree. Some agree, and
but the sum. Hold on. Now let me tell you. See, the sum are people who have either already been exposed to outside cultures, where they see how open people are outside the country. If you're in the US and you tell someone you're trying to fucking, I'm like, you know what, I'm not really about that. You guys will move on. You guys, like, it's a normal thing. But if you come here and say, if you say it's in UK too, you can still get away with it. It's not an abomination, right? People who have been exposed to those cultures, or have lived with people who have been exposed to those cultures, tend to think outside and tend to think differently. And that's why they can actually be like, okay, well, yeah, I'm also trying to fuck. Let's just get this done, right? But people who have raised themselves in Nigeria, in Lagos, I tell you for a fact, the fact that you're even having a conversation directly about sex is already...
For me, I feel it's switched.
Okay.
So before, you're right in terms of the West, where you can have that open conversation. In fact, the girl might even tell you, like, yo, I'm just trying to hit.
Yeah.
And you too, as a guy, you'd be like, yo, hold on. Like, you'd be shocked, but
yes.
She has that freedom to express herself. But in Nigeria, what I noticed is that, like you say, it's not all girls, because as I said, there are a lot of good girls that, unfortunately, because of the stereotypes of girls that are maybe in the limelight, they fall under that category. They're not like that. But there's a lot of girls that are like, they prefer the guy to not... Some girls not even like, don't waste my time. Like, just say what you want. And that's why I said even the transactional thing comes into play when it comes to sex here. Because it's like, I'd rather just at least have something to not waste my time than heartbreak.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. So that's why I said I noticed guys were more direct here. Because, again, we talked about it in another episode, alcohol. Especially in this part of the world, that's every weekend we're out, we're drinking. So more confidence, they come out.
So I think that the more directness you're talking about doesn't come with every guy. Because you have to even have some kind of confidence for you to even be direct in that way.
Alcohol.
The alcohol is one. Money is another. Right? See, because you know how they say money stops nonsense, so to say. So every guy that has money always feels like they cannot be turned down. Sex can be something that can be withheld from them. It's a crazy way to think. Yes.
I want to tell you, I want to ask you a question.
But it's what happens, right? It's unfortunate, but that's what happens.
Question, or even just say a statement. It's controversial, but it's like, okay, if I'm being real, it's like we say it in Lagos. Fine boy, no, they get you anywhere for this place. It
doesn't. It doesn't. Let's be honest.
It's like
it really doesn't.
In Western society, like it says, like that attraction is there. Like, oh, you good looking good. Like, yo, I'm trying to hit and all that. But here, on the other hand, like it's like I say, for example, I can go to Zoya now. Some of the finest girls are in Zoya and all that. I know personally, this is my own confidence because every guy's like, and I'm sure you can see the same thing. If I catch any of you outside this Zoya and we're just in a regular place like South or something, I know how I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
But for outside, I know how to do it. But in Zoya now, it's not
a
me.
different ball game.
Me that's bought the table. You're
it's
not going to look at me.
Yeah.
And then the guys, like most of these girls that are in the clubs in Zoya, like that are living with, you're like, wait, no, again, I don't judge any man, every man, but you look and be like, what am I? Am I doing
something?
Like,
Really,
are you sleeping with this guy for the right reasons? Or
it's just and that's the truth. And the thing is, so you see how this plays back to post-nuts is that one, we've already talked about the fact that sometimes there's no communication. People don't know what page they're on, right? So you're trying to, for lack of a better word, you're trying to conquer, right? So you're trying to actually get to that point where you're like, yes, okay, I smashed that, or it's a curiosity thing.
It's like a competition with some guys say, I've noticed, like, you know how the way some guys will say, like, how was she, or is
exactly,
it's more like, I don't like knock him, I don't knock him, and it's like, bro, you are ruining it for all of us here. That if I'm actually attracted and it happens, fine. It's more genuine. I'm not trying to conquer and do competition. I don't have time.
And the thing is, well, I mean, the society they're being raised puts them in that pedestal where they are meant to be seen as, by the number of babes you slept with, you are now, your accolades have gone up, your street cred has gone up. Now, you see, the thing is, and the post-nut crisis thing happens a lot more over time because as you grow older, you get to really understand what you like and you don't like. So someone who is 21 might not really feel post-nut as much as when you're 29, when you're 30, and you're thinking, in fact, at that 30, 31, that you're like,
in fact, at that 21, you have it, but you're still young that you just allow bullshit.
In fact, you know what? You see, at that 21, the characteristic that makes you ignore red flags spills into ignoring what post-nut is telling you. Because the truth is, how you really feel about a person always happens post-nut. If, you've nutted and you still feel like you guys want to have a conversation, you want to banter after, you definitely know that's someone you can hang with, even if sex never happens again, right? But there's some people, like I said, just looking at their face, you're already annoyed. You're just thinking, or maybe they're saying something like,
they do some, like, I don't know about this. Or
they want to stay an extra day. You're like, which extra day? Don't stay an extra day.
Like, you don't do everything. And then it's like they're trying to cuddle you and do.
And you're just like,
don't touch me, damn it. Like,
thank you very much.
And it's not like, it's not a you problem.
It's a me. Yes.
I'm trying to chill. Because that starts the relationship problem. Right?
Yes.
This like, it's not saying we can't hang and all that. And again, I don't want women to think like, oh, so every girl you do this way, you do it. No. But we're telling you the honest truth about some things, and like I say, it comes down to communication. But let me bring up another point with post-nut, because there's also the good post-nut. Like you said, you're gonna know, look, is this somebody?
Okay, I really like this girl.
And
like, you know what?
Because for me,
I wanna be around her,
okay, so there's two sides. So obviously, with my ex, we waited.
Yeah.
Like even from that first day, we could have because we liked each other like that. But I remember we both like, she's like, we should wait, and I was like, you know what? Let's wait. And we waited for like a good month or two.
Which is long, to be honest.
And we're seeing each other almost every day. So at that point, by the time the month happened, we did. And after that, I was like, "You're never leaving me." I remember I told her, once we finished that, I was just like this: "You ain't leaving me." And hold on, behold, she became my girlfriend. Now, obviously, it took some time because, guys, even though you want her to be your girlfriend, you don't say it. So it took some time, like, eventually, I remember I was going to Nigeria for Christmas break. So we started by August. Yeah. Dating from August to December. By that December, I was about to go catch flight to Lagos. I'll be honest, I was like, oh, yeah, my last hurrah. Like, last Christmas break, before I entered
Yeah.
that place, she just told me, you need to make a decision. I was like, eh? Like, what do you mean? It's like, either me or I'm being single because I'm not letting you go. I said,
Yeah.
well, I can't lose this woman. Boom.
Yeah.
But then, fast forward now, since the breakup, obviously, I've started dating
Yeah.
and all that stuff. There was a girl, I'll be honest, there was one girl I saw. Like I said, we did the thing. We were seeing each other, like, and it was somebody I actually liked. Like, yo, I'll go pull up in her office sometimes, pick her up, all that. It's
Yeah.
all good. So it wasn't even about the sex. Once the sex happened, it was like a bonus. Like, it was good and shit. So
Yeah.
even that post, it's like, I still want to be seeing this girl.
Mm-hmm.
The opposite happened to me. She started pushing me away.
Ooh.
And
Damn.
guys don't talk about this, how painful
Damn.
that shit is. That you actually genuinely are being a good
The one
guy.
time your post note does not betray you is when you're now being curved.
It's
Damn.
like, I've done everything. Okay, I've made effort as a guy, which is the main thing women want. I've communicated to you, I like you a lot. Like, it's
Yeah.
not no bullshit, all that stuff. Yes, the only thing I did say was like the relationship thing, because like I actually want to get to know you more, but I still want to be, I don't mind. Like, I don't even mind.
Oh, you told her you wanted to be in a relationship?
No, I told her I can't right now.
Okay, you told her you can't. Okay.
Because at that time, like last
Yeah,
time,
yeah,
building,
yeah.
and that's the thing, women don't see this side of men. It's like when we say these things, or even the post, we have our own lives outside that we're dealing with. There's so much, especially as a young man in Nigeria, there's so many pressures we do with
Yeah.
and all that we're still trying to maintain our bad guy image. Meanwhile, we're mentally just. So it's like,
Yep,
that happened, and I told her I like, and she liked me too, but then. After a while, she just starts pushing me away when she starts seeing we're getting very, very close. And I'm like, what's going on? Like,
Did she tell you why?
She never told me why, my brother.
Damn.
It just eventually just started evaporating. Like before, if I say, yo, let's see, yes, easily. After a few weeks now, excuse. More excuses.
The next
Now we
thing
don't
you
see.
kind of catch
You start catching, and then
yeah.
it's like, there was something that she did that made me realize there was somebody else. And it's like, fair. That's
Which
fair. But you could have told
and again, that's, I mean, exactly. Just say there's someone else, just say you're not really on that energy anymore. Like there's no point, us really just going back and forth and then usually. Okay, so the thing is, we've spoken about this, but there's one part of post note that we're not really touching on, and I think we can quickly just touch on that. Post note just doesn't always have to be actual sexual intercourse. Post note could come from masturbation as well, right? In that. You could be, especially, I guess maybe when we're younger, we didn't really feel, but as you get older, like, sometimes you would masturbate and you would be done and you just be like, what kind of life am I living? And this is the truth, like, because I'm sure a lot of guys experience this, right? Where it could also even be the flip side, where you need that post-nut so your mind can be clear.
True.
Because you're just like, okay, you know what, I need to rub one off, and then you do that. You're just like, hey, okay, so where am I now? What do I need to get done? Go about my day. Yeah. So, but it's something that if you're not aware that it's as a result of you, nutting and everything following through after that, then it's difficult for you to really control your actions, control everything that's going on afterwards.
I agree 100%.
Yeah,
like for example, I don't masturbate anymore just because when you had your teenage phase that there was a bad time,
and there was curiosity.
We can be honest here. Like as guys, especially, I'm sure women have the same thing. But I know there was a time as a teenager that porn phase. Every guy has that porn phase. So it's like now
sometimes you watch it now and just like, what the fuck is this?
Like even at this age, I tell people, I will try. There's one day I was just like you say, you need that post nut sometimes because so I'm stressed from work.
Yeah.
I ain't got no girl to call.
Yeah.
Nothing.
In fact, sometimes it's not even that you don't have a girl, it's that you don't even want to.
I don't.
You're just not about that cuddle energy.
I'm roast. Obviously, I'm stressed. Roast is hitting you, but it's like you say, if I call her, that post nut's going to annoy me.
Yes, exactly. That's especially when she will answer me, but
I'll be annoyed after.
I'll be annoyed after.
You'll be so annoyed after. Like,
yes.
Like, why did I do this? So it's like in my room now. Sometimes there's one day I was stressed out. I'm trying to think. I'm trying to even watch it. It didn't even do the same for me. Once that post note, obviously you masturbated. That post note? It's like all the stress is stuff.
All the stress is gone.
It's like,
now you can think clearly.
It's like obviously you have that. You have that 10 seconds of what am I doing?
Yes.
At your big age, like you're doing this thing. You're not wiping yourself up. Like it's embarrassing. Then after that, you now come back to your senses. Okay, how do I make money and solve this problem?
Yeah, but the funny thing is, actually, I would even advise guys that when you get that urge to want to call someone, if you can rub one off without having to, have to go through that post-nut thing, I'd say do it. Like, do it so you get it out of the way. It's different if you're calling someone up because you've missed them, you want to see them, then of course maybe you've missed the sex
Compared
as well.
to roast studies,
Exactly. Yeah. If you've actually missed them, you've missed the sex. You know that that even if there's post-nut, the post-nut is
be happy thoughts.
exactly.
Like,
it will be happy thoughts. This was
I'm happy.
exactly. Stuff like that. Yes,
you're lovely.
yes. As opposed to if it's just like just for the sex thing, because except she's also on the page where you guys know we just come, boom, I pack my things, I go. You're gonna have to deal with that.
Not a lot of guys, no matter how honest you are, a lot of guys are not on that.
Yes, yeah, not a lot of guys. I know a lot of girls even agree to that, right? So if you're not on that page where it's like, okay, you come, it's literal, pack, we're done. Okay, pack my stuff.
I'll see
you later. Same time next week. Whatever, however arrangement it is, right? If you're not on that page, I would just say don't call, because you're going to end up nursing more problems than what you were trying to solve in the first place, right? Because even if you're stressed, you're about to be more stressed. Because now the person, are you just going to tell her to go, leave your house?
Somebody said a quote.
Go ahead.
Somebody said a quote that dating gets harder as you get older if you're single. And
it does.
And
it does.
So
I know that for a fact. It does. Yes.
You see, even these things we're talking about, it still plays in the whole dating
yes,
scenario.
It does. There was one tweet I saw. It wasn't even a tweet. It went viral sometime where, I think it was guys just sharing their experiences, or girls sharing their experiences with guys and going over to guys' houses, right? And there was one tweet that said, I think she was saying that the guy was telling her to leave at like 4 a.m. Like, that kind of 4 a.m. being that, there's a curfew, but by 4 a.m. they've lifted it. Please just call your Uber. Now, it will also be nice when girls know that there's also a post-nut thing that guys go through. So sometimes they should give room for the expectation that guys can move different once the sex is done. Because I guess that sometimes women don't understand why guys move differently when sex is done. They're like, you just changed.
Because you're not talking.
You guys are not communicating in the first place, right? And I felt bad, but I could relate to what she was saying in that the guy wanted that. Because there are times where I've wanted the person to leave, like, but I mean, I'm not that kind of guy, so the person will have to stay through, but I'll be suffering inside. And I'll just be like...
I just don't tell.
So sometimes they'll be cracking jokes. I'm not finding it funny. I don't want to laugh. It's not funny to me.
And like for me, I'm a big cuddler, but at the same time, I'm not.
You're not on that page, yes.
If we ain't on that page and we've had, fine. Can stay on your side of the bed? Like obviously, you can do that foot thing. That foot thing.
That side of the bed.
After that,
let me just use my leg to touch you.
I don't want to hug unless we on that level, and it's not a you thing. It's me. I like my space. And I'm sure women are the same way, but the thing is, they're more emotional. I don't want to say they're more emotional, because men are very, very, very emotional.
Extremely.
But I feel like when it comes to sex itself, women are more emotional, because it's more,
Yes.
Well, some people, it's just a physical activity for us. For some people, it's your mental and all that. So that's why they feel so...
So I was trying to answer someone this question that you just pointed out now, in how, sex, the dynamic of sex is a little different for men and women. Mm-hmm. So again, because men see it as in fact, to us, it's somewhat like a sport, somewhat like I was able to sleep with this girl and that girl and this girl. It's almost like a conquering thing. It's almost like, it's an achievement, so to say. For women, in most cases, not all cases, in most cases, there has to be some kind of connection. And that's why you hear most times that women would even say, I can't just open my leg for anybody, Guys don't always have that standard.
We don't. We don't.
No, there are some guys who, over time, after discovering themselves, but right from the beginning, the guys don't have that standard. It's just in fact, that's why it's so easy for a babe to move to a guy and he can easily agree. Because there are just no standards. It's like, as long as, it's a girl that... Exactly. If you girl that you to me...
Not even if you're fine. You're decent.
You're decent. You don't have to even be fine.
It sounds weird. Even with this post, I told somebody that there's some of these slay mamas, Instagram girls, all them shit that everybody talks about in Lagos. Like, this babe. I've never looked their way once. And it's because I already know, like you say, that post now, like, you're fine on the gram.
It's just going to be a conquer thing.
But it's going to be because unless you're... Now, some girls I've met that are influencers, all that.
But I also still chill. Yeah.
I've more friend zoned them in a way. Then the other ones that opportunity is there, I'm just thinking, like, by the time we have sex, I'm probably going to be annoyed.
Yep, exactly. Because, one, I've already had... People have put you in this place where you're you're sexy, right? And so I haven't put other expectations apart from just your sexual prowess.
It's not even that. So for me, it's not even that. Like me, any girl's sexiness doesn't intimidate me at all. Fine girl.
No, I'm even saying based off of the fact that when it's back to the whole conquer thing I'm talking about, like when a guy is moving to a babe, if it's like an Instagram influencer, so to say, most times it's because she looks physically attractive. You're curious as to, I wonder how she feels, So and when you quench that curiosity, you're done, man.
So for me, it's like I'm big when it comes to sex. Now I am very, very like 100% on personality.
Yeah.
Like that's why I said like you can be the finest girl. No, if your personality character is shit, I'm not even going to waste time because, like you said, some of these girls now that I've met that their personality is shit, but they're still hot and they might want to. That post not going to not even make me annoyed. It'd be angry at myself, like, why did you waste your time?
Yeah. Now, okay, so I have one question to ask you though. What would you say is one of your worst actions that was based off of personal clarity? Like, just something that's out of the fact that you just couldn't stand the person's presence, you just went ahead and did that, or you thought of doing it. Just go ahead. Let's let's be honest.
No comment.
It doesn't have to be the worst. It could be one of the worst.
Younger me was immature, but I wasn't even immature to say. There's two off the head I can say. There's one I went to go sleep in the living room.
Okay, I can definitely relate to that.
After I went to go sleep in the room, but you had to code it. You had to be like, okay, what was you check? She's sleeping. I went to the living room, just started playing FIFA and shit. Okay, when the taxi comes, then number two, there was this girl I had no business with. And I'm sure guys can relate to that. You yourself know, red flag day.
As in everything, like you just have no business.
She's hot, so she's fine.
But just not your type.
Your type. You guys are cool. Maybe you greet each other, hi. And of course, I did. Baba, I was crying. I swear. I'm so dead. Like, the need have everything good. Like, I won't lie, the sex was fire and shit. Like, it was like there's some girls, you have that sexual chemistry, like the sex is fire. But that's it. So after now, we're both laying there trying to talk and cuddle and all that. So it's like at that point, I'm forcing conversation now. I can tell. At that point, I sit back. I'm just sad. I'm just sad, like, you're more than this. Like, you deserve a good woman in your life. Like, I just started coaching. Imagine talking to yourself. At one point, then that's when, that small tear will just come out like this. Like, come on, Mike. We talked about this. Like, come on. And the tear just started coming out. And after that day, I think it was even from that day that I said, my standard already had gone. I said over here, your standard goes up. But I remember that day vividly. From that day, my standard completely changed in terms of now this one's not leaving. Like, if I can't even be friends with you or even cuddle you.
Yeah.
And when I say cuddle you, it's not like, oh, boyfriend, girlfriend. But I just
just cuddle. Yeah,
I want to feel good that I'm sleeping with somebody. You get what I'm saying? What about you?
So, I've definitely had the living room one. I've had that, yes. But I think one of the wildest ones I would say, well, it wasn't even really wild, but to me it was. So she had a hotel room that, which was perfect for me because, fine, your hotel room, I'll come by and see you. Mm-hmm. So I think maybe I got there around like 9 p.m. or something, obviously when she settled in and comfortable and stuff like that. Anyways, we did the deed and I kid you not, I had to fake an outing. Like, oh yeah, my boys are out. My boys are out. I have to just quickly, now.
Oh, sorry, this came up.
Now I had to also make sure. Now, luckily for me, I didn't like come into the room like moving my stuff in, so it wouldn't be obvious that I'm packing my shit and getting the fuck out. Like I came in like almost empty-handed, just maybe my phone, and my car keys and stuff. So when it was like time for me to go out with my guys, it was an easy escape because all I need to do is just carry my phone, carry just the little thing I just carry. I'm like, oh yeah, I'll be back maybe.
I was just about to say,
I'll be back. I'll be back maybe just about 2 hours, maybe just max 2 hours. Now I won't want to wake you. She wouldn't be like, oh no, don't worry, just call me when you get back. Or what? Should I give you the key? No, don't give me the key. Don't give me the key. Just I'll figure my way out when I get back. Don't give me the key. Don't give me the key. Because if you give me the key, then I have to come back, and I don't want that. So
do you know one thing I don't like about post-nut? Like our rounding up now, but it's like. One thing about post-nut is your post-nut is worse when her friends are involved. In terms of, you've already built that relationship. It's gone to that point that the friends know and all that.
So you can't be a bastard. So you can't even be a bastard again.
Now if you go outside, the friends will see you. Hi! You're like, oh my God. Like, my post-nut's already.
So, exactly, yes.
Now you got,
Sometimes they even ask you, oh, have you even heard from this girl? And you're now thinking, I'm not even trying to hear from her. Like, I don't want to hear from her anymore. Can you please?
Again, when the viewers see this and when women see this, I don't want you to think we're not dickheads. We're being men that are honest.
Yeah.
It's not this is growth.
Yes,
We're talking
this has happened to a very good number of guys.
Many guys,
if not all. Yeah.
I'm sure women. You see, us that were talking, I know how many of my female friends will tell me like they have literally been there even during the sex.
Yes.
Saying, why am I with this?
Literally halfway, and it's like I need.
Like, why am I
in
here?
In fact, there are some. I've had some girls give me just now. Just be like, you know what? Like I was meant to spend the night. As soon as it was done, I just told him, "Oh yeah, that's I'm on my period. I need to leave. Or my period is about to come. I need to leave." And I'm just thinking. So obviously, it doesn't happen just for the guys. It happens for the girls as well, right? And it's still a communication thing in the end because, if you guys are not trying to be friends as well before the whole thing, then it means you're not also considering what happens afterwards. In which case, let yourselves know it's just the sex. So that way, if somebody needs to up and leave, there's no expectation. So you just go like that. There's no. I mean, I've come for what I've come for, and it's done. And so ideally, next thing is for me to go to my house. But if you're setting up other expectations, where it's like, okay, when we're done with that, then maybe we'll still hang out a little bit. I'm not trying to hang out with nobody if that's not how I feel. And if my post note is literally just going to, accentuate the fact that I'm not trying to have none of that. So more than anything, I'll even be annoyed that we're spending more time, and so will you if that's the page you were on as well.
I always ask women some questions. What were you guys doing, or how was the relationship before you had sex? If he's maintaining the same energy, he's done nothing wrong.
Yep.
Especially
Exactly.
if he's communicated that this is what I'm trying to do. This is
exactly.
What
Yeah.
Because some women now will be saying, "Oh no, now you need to. I don't need to do shit."
Yeah. Exactly. If you guys on the same. Anyways, I think this was good. I think this was good. Yeah.
We have a lot to,
I'm looking forward to the comments because I'm pretty sure a lot of people have something to say.
But
and I want to
when you're watching this episode again, obviously laugh, enjoy, but also think about what we're saying. We're not just saying things for bad. We're saying real shit that is like, this is stuff guys will not, because honestly, outside here, we're not going to talk about this thing.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. People, in fact, I don't think I've ever had a post-nut conversation with anybody.
A guy like you.
Ever.
I thought you guys do. How'd you feel?
Yeah, I don't think I've ever had like a post. Nah, I don't think. I mean, sometimes some guys will banter and be like, "Oh, more as soon as we're done, I don't even want to see the babe face." But they never acknowledge it.
Mention, though, the post-nut, how post-nut can get you in trouble. In terms of the excitement that you think is there for the person, but it's not really excitement. In terms of like, have you ever had this feeling like you've had some good sex with the girl, and thinking, "Yo, okay, maybe it's this," and you are setting yourself up for failure.
So I think that one is post-nut that kind of lingers. I think we should have talked because there's some post-nut that lingers, especially if it is good post-nut. It seems like good post-nut where like the sex seemed good and not seem good afterwards, but actually you're not on that vibe with the person.
You're not. It's just
in fact most times the person might not even be your type, and it's just not about that. But then you still feel like, okay, maybe that's the one way they say that, oh, he's whipped, right? Because but I think that's something we might end up addressing in a part 2 because I think we're done for today.
Well,
so
first, again, thank you guys for tuning in to another great episode. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. Make sure you follow us on all our social platforms, Instagram, TikTok. We're on Spotify. We're on Apple Podcast. And I mean, you guys have been doing the thing. Like every episode's been good, so we're doing well so far.
And also, don't forget to send us an email if you have any questions, if you need any help with some advice. Again, we're no love doctors, but we'll just share experiences or whatever we've been through.
I'm gonna say that disclaimer right now on camera. I am not a love doctor. I'm still figuring this thing out in life, but at least we express ourselves.
Exactly. So we'll share experiences, and if they apply to you and if they help you out, then hey, all well and good. So you can send us an email at menismspod@gmail.com. And again, always remember to subscribe, to follow, to comment on our YouTube, comment on our Instagram pages, on our posts, and let's see what you guys are thinking. Let us know what more you want to hear from us, and then
So we'll be back again next week as usual. Shout out to you guys. I'm Michael Sonario.
And I'm Menisms.
All right, we'll see you guys next week.